our community needs to re-strategize. And one way for us to re-strategize is to individually, personally invest in ourselves.
I want to talk about the whole community, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be about my personal life.
So what exactly do you want to talk about the community? Let's start with the good parts.
It's good that people could express themselves at in this present age, because I know many years ago people were so discreet and people were so what's the word? People were so depressed of who they were and they couldn't come out, or they couldn't express themselves to other people, or they were ashamed of who they are or who they were. But now people are accepting it, and I don't even think it's easy for people to accept it, but they have to, and it's just a beautiful thing that you're surrounded by people that are like you and you can explore, because something about sexuality is it's not limited. You think you are this, but you find that you are this. You get, so yeah, that's a beautiful thing about.
And when you're talking about people accepting, one sexuality, what angle are you coming from? Do you mean in Nigeria as a whole, or do you mean in one part of Nigeria, for example, Lagos, or do you mean the church sector or the political sector? Because I don't see where people are accepting sexuality. So just clarify that a bit.
They are accepting it in Nigeria, in other parts of the world. Accepting in the sense that they can't really do anything about it anymore. Like, there was a time where, let me use big names like Bobrisky or James Brown. There was a time where police were always after them. They couldn't do public parties, or they couldn't show themselves in public because they were not identified as men. So, but now you can see them in public. Yeah, people are accepting them. People are talking to them. They are associating. They are socializing. Big brands are using them for ambassadorial deals. So that is acceptance to me. It doesn't have to be. I think that's one problem people in the community have, because they are waiting for everybody to love them, and that's not possible, because people don't even love straight people. You don't have to be loved. Acceptance is different from love. You get, they are, okay, I will put it in here, they are tolerating them. That's the word. And I think that's acceptance too. So,
in the sense that now people can, go on social media and, have a free life. But at the same time, won't you argue that this is just like most people feel it's just publicity stunt? It's social media chasing, cloud chasing. Because most times when they said people, James Brown and Bobrisky come online, they are like, oh, I don't belong to this community. I'm just doing this because this is how I make a living. This is my brand. So especially Bobrisky once said, this is my brand. I have to test out the products I'm marketing, especially when he was a so-claimed organic cream, producer. And that was the angle Bobrisky went towards.
I'm not gay though, but like I said in my previous interview, I wear this to portray what I do, because I actually I sell cream, I am into fashion, I sell clothes, and I'm opening the makeup studio pretty soon because I know how to do a very good makeup. So I'm putting all this because that's what I do. So look at this way doesn't mean I'm gay.
Most people really don't understand sexuality, because like in Nigeria, the media doesn't allow sexual contents to be shown, especially when it's LGBTQ content. The Nigerian Television Board Authority has sanctioned any queer or LGBT content from airing in Nigeria.
The Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board has suspended the release of Marvel Studios' $200 million film Eternals, which was scheduled for a November 5th weekend release. The suspension was apparently based on a kissing scene between two male characters in the film.
people don't have access to this sex education. They think that sex education is just heterosexual, and most people get their sexual advice, sorry to say, but from their pastors, which is ironic, because the pastors only give them one angle of sex. I used to belong to a church where the man of God would say, if the woman is on top of you, you are going to hell. The woman must be beneath you, and the man must be on top. That is how God wants it to be. And that is the only sexual orientation. Even when growing up, to have sexual conversation with my mom was an issue. What my mom told me is, don't get a woman pregnant. So I feel in Nigeria, we need to get to a stage where people can be comfortable to have sexual conversation with their kids, with their parents. That is the first way I feel like acceptance. I just feel we are just narrowly ignoring sexuality. Nigerians are coming to the reality that gay people exist, square people exist, and they need a kind of help and therapy. Half of the people in Nigeria believe that with prayers, with fasting and prayers, with flogging, with so much therapies, sexual,
They don't realize they are putting their children into very deep depression, and it's just a messed up belief that something like that can be gotten rid of through prayers or flogging or whatever. It's not true. Even if the child pretends like he has changed or whatever, it's not true. It's still deep inside of him. I remember, I'm going to use my personal life. I remember when I was taken for deliverance, and they talked and talked and talked. And afterwards, the same pastor came to me and was like, he likes me. Do you now see that these pastors and these people they are just humans, and you shouldn't believe everything they say. You should be wise enough to pick out, okay, the truth from everything someone says, and make your own research. You said if you're a Christian, you should be close to the Holy Ghost, and you should pray. You should act from God, because men of God are just instruments that God talks to us with. They're just humans like us. They are not God. That's one thing Nigeria should stop. They should stop seeing men of God as God.
And we haven't gotten to that level where we can begin to question authority. Because when I was in that church, I questioned so many authorities, right? And I asked deep questions that the church will just look at me and be like, this one is sinner. Just get out. You're getting. So we need to come to the place where we can say sexuality is not a spiritual mandate. Sexuality is a biological and a physical attraction. So we have had different situations where people will come out and be like, I used to be gay, now I am gay no more, I've given my life to Jesus.
Do you believe that the Lord tonight has set you free?
Yes, sir.
Turn around and tell those people.
Tell them.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman.
And this is where the whole depression and the whole thing. So I feel like when we come for acceptance with the Nigerian church, the Nigerian church hasn't caught into that reality that sexuality is a biological and a physical attraction. There is a difference between being gay. There is a difference between being celibate. There is a difference between being lesbian. And until we come to this avenue where we can freely talk and have this conversation, I don't think we have had an acceptance. The Nigerian constitution has not even, opened up a bridge for us to have this conversation in the Senate or the House of Assembly. There is nobody that can stand from us. When President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan passed the anti-gay lobby, there was no LGBT freedom fighter or activist that came up to say, oh, there are gay people in Nigeria. The president openly said there are no homosexuals in Nigeria. Nigeria will not tolerate or have any association with the LGBTQ community, and nobody came out to speak out. So I feel we have not gotten to the place of acceptance until we start having this conversation and we start retracting all these views and this meant about queer people. Because most of us, when we go to the hospital or we go somewhere where we need treatment, we get this preaching all the time where people begin to preach to us and say, what you're doing is bad though, you need to repent, you need to change your ways. So I don't feel we have gotten to a form of acceptance, and that is why the crime in the community is high, depression is high, anxiety is high, suicide rate is high, and the poverty rate or homeless rate in the community is high, because there have been different situation of people, like especially this person who wrote to me. He was like, see, I had a good job and my boss decided to go through my Instagram page and he discovered that I'm queer and I got fired because of that. So we haven't gotten to that place of acceptance. And I feel the more we have this conversation with the community, the more we talk about it, then this acceptance will come. The funny thing is the people who are meant to talk about these things, James Brown, Bobrisky, even the legend on the underground documentary that was done, that would have addressed the issues of the common LGBTQ person in Nigeria, is shying away or is being afraid of having this conversation because we know the risks and everything that comes with speaking out.
They're trying to be safe as well. You know, it's in the law. And the reason why they haven't been able to arrest them is because there is no proof that they are gay. Like that popular video that went out, they didn't cut me by James Brown. Well, it's actually true. There is no proof, so they cannot arrest them. And with the things they say online, they're just trying to be careful so that they don't put themselves in trouble. In as much as they want to help liberate other people with their influence, they are trying to be careful from jail, because Nigeria is the kind of country that protests or anything won't stop their decision. You can imagine the NSAS protest and see how it is till today. Just last week here, my phone was searched because of my hair. So it's a difficult country, unlike US and other countries where protests can stop it, speaking out can stop it. We don't really have freedom of speech in this country. And that is the blunt truth. We don't have freedom of speech. So I understand where they are coming from. I understand what they are doing. I understand they are being strategic and they don't want trouble just because of their influence. They are trying to use their influence in a way. They are speaking out. They are making other, like you can see a lot of transgenders, a lot of cross-dressers coming out, and that is liberation, but then they are being careful with what they say and how they act, so it doesn't land them in trouble. So I understand what they are doing. I understand where they are coming from. So that's just it for me. They're just being careful.
You made a very great point about liberation, but what do you think is the way forward? We have had this circle. This is 2022. We had the whole circle in 2020 with the NSAS, and most people don't know. Just a disclaimer: most people don't know the NSAS was even started by queer people. They do not attribute it to us at all. They attribute it to the whole youths of Nigeria. But we know that the NSAS started with gay people, with people like Matthew Blaze, who were on the front line, and Victor for fact's sakes, who were on the front line. Even Amara the lesbian was on the front line with the NSAS, you're getting. And we have had situations where queer people have come out, queer people have started something good, but the credit never comes to us. But at this point in time, after the NSAS protest has gone on and we saw how the Nigerian government reacted, how do you feel this community can even get better? Because we know this community is getting worse with the rise of ketos now and the rise of ritual killings. What's your own take on that?
I just feel that other people know about the community and they're trying to use it against us. They know the authorities are not really doing anything, because if it was a very strict situation, I think Bobrisky should have been in jail by now or something. He should have been arrested. But he's not. So they think, people that are so homophobic, they think, okay, since the law isn't doing anything, since police or people of high power are not doing anything, they should carry it on their own hands, or they're just using it to profit. Because I don't understand the reason why you are going to deceive someone in coming to your own house and you rob them of their money. And even all these said kittens, do you know they rape? They actually do rape. So sometimes it gets to me and I'll be like, these people are, some of them are actually part of the community, right? Because I don't know why a straight person should rape his fellow guy. I don't know why. They rape you, take your money, beat you up, and your phone, everything. They take your possessions, and this thing it leaves a memory there. Some people may never find love in this after that kind of incident. They may never believe in love.
Do you honestly believe there is love? Do you honestly believe someone can find love in this community?
I do. Even after I've had a lot of bad experiences, but even after that, I still believe there is. Just that it's the thing is just the good people in the community are not so much anymore because many people are fucked up. Many people are depressed. Many people don't know what they want, and everybody have the mindset of um, this is just for fun. My parents won't let me. My parents will let me end up with the guy. I don't need to stress about it. This is just for fun. Let us enjoy the moment. Let us just have sex and the rest. They don't think about the future. They only think about now. Let's just have fun. Let's just do this. Let's just enjoy ourselves. They don't think about the future. They don't think, okay, can I actually settle down with this person? They don't think about that. So I think it's our mentality that has to change if we should really open ourselves to love. It's our mentality that has to change. We have to change the mentality of being scared of what the future holds, because you even deciding to marry a girl and you don't want to really marry a girl, that marriage won't work no matter how you try. That marriage won't work. It's either you'll be sad in the marriage or you eventually divorce. You are seeing a lot of cases where people are divorcing actually after having one or two kids. Sometimes it's not really the marriage issue. Sometimes it's because you are not straight and you didn't want to accept it before, so you had to accept it the hard way.
So
That is just
how can someone accept himself in Nigeria, like in a place like Nigeria where most of us are from? How can someone truly accept himself? The government is against you, religious leaders and society and institutions are against you, your family is against you. You literally live in an environment where everybody tells you you are a sin, you are an abomination, you are a mistake. How can you accept yourself in such a place? And how have you been able to accept yourself personally?
it's not really easy, to be honest. I know of people that have left their home, people their parents drove out of the house because they found out who they were, people that have been arrested before and the rest. I know it's not easy to accept it, and it's really toxic where, especially when your family don't accept it, really toxic. But I don't know. I have this feeling of, why are you coming out? Why? I'm not saying this in the wrong way, but you don't see a straight person going to tell his mom, I'm straight. Do you?
No.
So we are actually thinking that we are different. We're not seeing ourselves as equal with straights. We're seeing ourselves as less. And that's why we want to come out. We want to say, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, I'm bi, I'm this. Why are you coming out? You don't see a straight person trying to come out. Live your life the way you want it.
I think most of us try to come up because society has already built this structure that we are different. Once you say it's a nice thing this day. Once you say you're gay, you see people, oh my God, oh my, oh Jesus, oh I love gay people. So we've had this social structure that society makes LGBTQ people feel that they are special or they are different. We are the only people with pride. Straight people don't have pride. Straight people don't need to go fighting and saying we need freedom. We have been locked up. So we have both the negative and the positive side that still tells us we are different. For example, it's just like a child who goes to school and you can't see from the back seat, and every time they put you in the front seat and they ask you, oh, can you see the board, can you see the board? Unconsciously you have been brainwashed to know that you are different. That is why you're being kept in the front, and that is why you are asked this question repeatedly. So I feel that is why most of us decides to come out, because society has painted this picture that as a queer person we need to owe everybody these, our obligations of telling them who our sexual partners are, especially
Yeah,
to our parents.
really don't. And I know sometimes it's really, you really have that urge, especially when you're in a relationship. You really have that urge to want to share it with the world. You have beautiful pictures of yourself, sometimes matching outfits and the rest. And yeah, if you want to post them, you can post them. You can do whatever you want. And you don't really have to announce yourself when you know it's going to land yourself in trouble. You don't want to be homeless when you don't have a job. Sometimes it's just strategy, and that's what I said about the celebrities that are with influence, Bobrisky and his influence, and the rest. You should be strategic. If you don't have a job, you shouldn't come out. I'm telling you, if you don't have a job, you shouldn't come out. I know why I'm saying this from my own personal. If you don't have a job, you shouldn't come out. If you don't have a source of income, you shouldn't. If you're not comfortable, you should wait for the right time. At this time, just enjoy what you do, enjoy everything, but in private, because you're in Nigeria. That's just it. But when you are comfortable, when you have your own source of income, when you have your own house and everything, then you could come out to your parents. And I don't even think it will be a big deal by then. Even they may shout, they may do this, they may do that, but I guess they'll take you like that. They'll tolerate you, because then they'll be like, okay, you can take care of yourself. They don't need to punish you. They cannot punish you or anything at that time, because you are on your own.